Revelation chapter 11. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of Elohim, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under And the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days. And score actually means 20, so 60, so 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees, and the 2 candlesticks standing before the sovereign of the earth. And there's a note that says sovereign in Aramaic said Moriah. I'm not familiar with that term. So these, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Master was impaled. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues, let me check, because it might say different than impaled in the King James. Chapter 11, verse 8. Plagues as often as they will. Yeah. And in the King James it says where our Lord was crucified, but the restored name is impaled because many people believe that it wasn't actually a cross, it was a stake, and that the cross was infused in because of Tammuz worship and the big T for Tammuz. And so, yeah, not trying to offend anyone, just, it's a theory, okay? I am not psychic. I don't know what actually happened 2,000 years ago. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not allow their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Elohim entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay, so what just happened here? I'm sorry. Okay, he had a rod, and he was supposed to measure the temple. Don't measure the court because of these people, but he's going to give power unto his 2 witnesses. So that's who these people are that died and rose after 3 days, were his 2 witnesses. Okay. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Now, does it say in a cloud in the King James? Yes. It says in a cloud. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were terrified, and gave honor to the Elohim of heaven. The second woe is past. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now remember, this is after the tribulation and after the previous followers of the Elohim have already been gathered up, from what I understand. So this would be the post-trib during wrath stage. Post-trib, post-rapture, which isn't actually in this Bible, but what people would call the rapture, during the tribulation, during the wrath. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our sovereign, and of his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever. So guess what? At this point, guess who rules the earth? And the 24 elders, which sat before Elohim on their seats, fell upon their faces and worshipped Elohim, saying, We give thee thanks, O Yahweh El Shaddai, which art and wast and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants and prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth. Yikes. I mean, I don't destroy the earth a lot, but I haven't been recycling a lot lately, so I know that's not literally what they mean and what John means when he writes this. And the temple of Elohim was opened in heaven, and there was seen in the temple of the sovereign the ark of his testament. And there were lightnings, and voices, and thunderings, and an earthquake, and great hail.